Hey guys, what is up? It is your boy DeBoy, back with a special video. I was talking to Josh, and Josh really wants to practice some Town Hall 10 3-stars. And I think that's great. I think having him as somebody who might be able to 3-star Town Hall 10 when we need it most is really going to help our clan out in the long run. So I'm glad when we have some easy wars that he says, you know what, I'm not going to worry about stats, I'm not going to worry about loot or anything. I'm just going to give it my best shot and start practicing some things on Town Hall 10. So I want to go through and kind of just show Josh's 2 attacks, give my remarks on the attacks. I've been talking to him, I kind of gave him some help and some suggestions on what I would do on a base, and then I told him I would go back and watch it and then give him notes. So I think both of them are up here. So the first base, when you look at this base, he decides to come in with hogs, which is fine. There's no real double bomb spots to really worry about. The key thing here is he's got freeze spells, and this thing right here, that is Freeze City. He can get 3 nice defenses with that freeze. Just like Mama used to make it. And so the idea here is when you're coming in with hogs, you gotta pull the CC, you gotta kill the CC, and you have to kill the queen. Those are the 3 things. If you don't do those 3 things, you're gonna have a bad time with hogs. So that's what I suggest to Josh is let's drop some giants here. So this is giants. Come right here. That's gonna lure these out. Then he can pull them over here. Use the whole witch strategy, which one witch doesn't work. It's got to be 2. But use the witch strategy to kill the CC. So we'll have our witches here. We have the double barb. He doesn't have archers, but it would be like 2 times witches back here, 2 archers, 2 barbs. I can't draw. And just kind of do that double drop into this, right? So we drop our golem here then. Our golem comes here. We can blow up this section. If we drop our wall breakers right, they might even blow up this section. And really all we're trying to do is draw this queen out to here. So the first phase of this attack ends when those things are done. When he's pulled the CC, when he's eliminated the CC, and when he's eliminated the queen. Then the second part happens, and that's when you wanna think about hog pathing. What is the most efficient way for my hogs to just rip through this base? Well, if we're just looking at face value, the one thing I notice is we can probably drop hogs here, here, and all this mid drop is gonna be a little rough. Here, down here. So we could do a 5-finger drop and have the hogs come in right here. And then at this point, they're not clumping because this one's coming here, this one's coming here, this is coming here, these are coming here. This could either come here or here. This one's coming here. This one's coming here. So like the hog pathing, if you come from the bottom left, is just stellar. The unfortunate thing is that he's got to worry about this right here. So, you know, in retrospect, he probably wanted to come in from the bottom, maybe even taken a jump spell, and then placed a jump right here, and got his heroes in. If he can get his heroes in to right here, his archer, queen, and king, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. And then he just raffle stomps the space. So there would be like a jump spell, a freeze once these get locked on, and then just hope to God your heroes can get get their shit done, and your initial wave, of clear and stuff. Probably the better way to go, as far as like thinking through what are we gonna do on this base. But let's go ahead and watch Josh's attack, and we can point some things out. The new replay system will take a, an ordinary amount. Whatever time he spent looking at this base before dropping a troop is the time that this starts at. It never used to be that way. But with the latest update, it is. So we get to sit here and twiddle our thumbs and pick our noses and, you know, jerk it or something. I don't know. So finally, we dropped one, which is good. Dropped the second one. Unfortunately, the Tesla popped up. Now, as soon as you see this hidden Tesla, you're thinking, oh shit. Because if this one is right here, maybe it's only here to stop people from just taking an easy CC pull. But if that one's there, where's the other ones? It's no longer here. Here. You know, it could be anywhere. Is there one here? This looks like a decent spot for one. You know, and that's something that you want to do when you're scouting is like, okay, where are the hidden Teslas? You know, maybe you already could tell that there was going to be some strategery going on here when you only saw inside the base 2 possible spots for him. Luckily for Josh, this giant decides to take a slightly different angle, and he ends up getting the full pull instead. So that's good. So at this point, dragging the troops over. Now this is a miss by Josh. He needed a way to drag the troops over, but he doesn't have enough troops to do the drag to get the troops over. Definitely would have cut, like, I mean, even maybe even 2 wizards. I mean, you got to make sure that you get this over here, and then you can drop into your clear. So at this point, he drops his CC. He's going to trigger this giant bomb, which sucks. But now he's dropped all of his wizards. He's losing a lot of his DPS just to clear the CC, and you don't want to do that. You're trying to clear the CC and still have as much as your power as possible. He drops his witch right there, which it's a scary place for her to be, and I don't know if she survives. Looks like she does. She dodges that giant bomb. But at this point, you know, it's already looking pretty rough. But okay, so at this point, it was a little bit of a rough beginning. But he's got the queen down at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. So now that the queen is down, we can support these troops. There's a bunch of defenses that are already being distracted by his initial wave. Let's support them. Let's throw some troops in there. You know, if we're gonna come in from this way to get this out, that's fine. You know, this archer queen is poking at stuff. If we're gonna come in this way or from the bottom side, there's defenses that aren't shooting. But this is paused when the queen dies at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Let's wait and see until when he drops his hogs. Witch dies. Pops queen's ability. First hogs. So the first hogs are almost 20 seconds after he already could have started dropping them and started, you know, while the DPS was already had targets, you know, he could have supported what was left of that initial burst with hogs. The entry path here, I'm not really a fan of, because he's not really sweeping across the base. He's just kind of, he's picked 2 spots to come in. And what happens is they all are going to clump on a couple of defenses. And because they're clumped, they're just not doing as much DPS as if they were spread out and really sweeping across the base. And I think that's a pretty big miss. He does get these Infernos down. He's still got a lot of hogs. You know, albeit the attack was a little bit sloppy, he still had some decent hog pushes. But he's popping spring traps. He's got these 2 skeleton traps that are on ground. You can see these other Teslas popped up. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no, queen, no! The queen could have saved the hogs! Right here is a hog trap. Boom. And there's not much you can plan for that. That's just base design. So, like I said, I think he missed on a few things. The hog pathing, could tighten that up, could try to come in from some better angles. Another thing that could have happened was the hog support could have been quicker. 20 seconds is far too long. And just you know, trying to figure out when you're ahead of time, like how the attack is going to go in your head, where things are going to be popping out, what's the most, you know, what's probably going to be the most dangerous place for things to pop out and for you to see. But he did things well too. You know, the CC clear was he got the pull as anticipated. The CC clear was a little rough, but he got it down. He got that initial burst. He got the queen. So the beginnings of the attack are there. But the thing that Josh will have to practice are building on top of that. You know, let's make sure that we are, you know, dropping our hogs at a good time. We don't go too early. I've shown in previous videos of mine, going too early is not the answer. But, you know, going too late is not the answer either. I mean, you're trying to supplement the attack with hogs. You're not trying to just be a hog attack. And that being said, 29 hogs would probably have been fine. You probably could have gone like 28. Maybe dropped a wizard, gotten maybe dropped a couple skeletons, got some more, some more ground force to really push in to the base this way. You know, if we're pushing in this way, getting towards those infernos, then we can, you know, Lord of the Rings style, you know, in the third one where they come from the side and they just start sweeping across type thing. So, some things to think about, some things to practice. But, you know, the basics are getting there. Josh has another one here. Full disclosure, Josh dropped his phone during this attack. But this time the Inferno is just out of the range for 2. This would have been a better Lava Loon base, just because all 3 of these expos are ground. But Josh wanted to practice Hog specifically, so he went for it again. I would have taken 2 witches. This needs to be 2. You really want the 2 witches. You would like some barbs. Just kind of that CC clear that builds into your ground attack is really what you're after. I love this double drop right here. He trips a bomb, which is okay. He gets the pull. Now we got to go towards the queen. So this is perfect, all right? So far, so good. I love this. And then I see a mistake. This is too early. You're dropping here, and all of a sudden this archer tower and this archer tower are like, oh, I've got targets. And you're just kind of throwing away DPS. This was fine. These guys were walking right over to here. They would have killed her. But if we would have had that double barb, right? We could have dropped archer, double barb, and then witch back here. And the witch spawn, you know, they're little dudes, and their CC is right here. And you've got a wizard on the side picking them off, a wizard on the side picking them off, the witches. You could have had this CC down with a total of 1, 2, 3, 13, 14 troops, and then still had wizards and witches coming in. And once they go down, you drop your golem right here. Your golem comes here. We break into this section right here. We kill that. We kill that. If you got your king and your queen in here, because you did some extra cleanup on these buildings to get them pointed, you know, maybe you get this building. And then at this point, then you're coming in with the hogs from the side. Again, you know, Lord of the Rings style. We're trying to find a face that we can come in on that you can do multi-drops. So if you're coming in from the top right, it's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're coming in top left, or I'm sorry, top left over here. If you're coming in top right, 1, 2, 3. If you're coming in from the bottom left, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know? And so then hog pathing. This goes to here. This goes to here. This goes from here to here. This goes from here to here. So then it's all hog pathing. And that's really what you got to be thinking about in some of these attacks is, okay, what do I do now, and what does it build into? So, you know, these troops are needlessly dying. All those wall breakers get nerfed too by 1 double bomb, which doesn't help. But we can drop the queen and the king, and still get into that section. So no harm, no foul. But the problem is that golem is no more. It took a lot of damage, and now your king's tanking, which is fine. He's 40, but it's gonna slow things down a bit. But I forgot to pause it again when the queen went down. But the queen went down, I think around the 220 mark. And so we're still sitting here with the heroes. Now this one's a little bit quicker, just about 10 seconds. And he drops his initial couple to check for any springs or anything, any traps, and then drops them in. I like this better. You know, there's a little bit better pathing. Maybe would have liked to try a little bit better pointedness on where the drops are coming from, but still spreading around that DPS, getting the first freeze down. Trying to the hog pathing is there. We're getting the hogs trying to get towards that middle section. Get that next freeze down. Getting the freeze down, trying to keep the hogs alive. These hogs are just running on it, and that heal spell probably needed to be a little bit better. He didn't need that one there. He's wasting a lot of the time on this heal spell, and really taking a lot of damage from the Infernos. But I think this attack went. Even though it doesn't look like it, with the amount of defenses that are down, I think this attack went a lot better. Like I said, I think this is ultimately a lava loon base, but he gave himself multiple lines of attack from the hogs, multiple entry points into the base, and just kind of like sweeping across the base, and it was quicker on the hog drop. The CC clear again wasn't the greatest. He could have had a golem be doing a lot more. Even if he would have had a golem come in this way after the CC clear. So the CC clear is coming this way and coming like this. We drop a golem here, wall break it in. Drop a golem here, wall break it in. They've got troops pouring in this way and this way. We got king, queen. And then we supplement this ground attack with the hogs. I think could have made for some interesting stuff. So I hope this was helpful. Obviously, the 2 stars or 3 stars are nice, but for every failure that you have, you're learning something. And if it's not just a failure, if it's a learning lesson, then it's a success. You gotta fail to get better. And you have to practice attacks to get better at them. And I think Josh is getting better. I think the first couple ones that I've seen from him previously were a little suspect, but he's doing better. He's getting the ideas down. The CC pull is there. The clear could be worked on a little bit. But the strategy around everything and getting the clear and having that ground attack to go forward, that idea is there, and really pushing through the base with different hog pathing or loon pathing if it was coming from the air. So good job, Josh. I applaud you for practicing something new, and I hope you keep at it. And I know you'll get better, man. So thanks, guys, for watching, and take it easy.